don't play no games. I don't know what this nigga thought it was. You asking for trouble, nigga. You barking up the wrong tree. The whole tree gonna fall on your bitch ass. A real man down on his feet. A real man stand for what he believe in. You understand me? When you believe in what you stand for, that money, that status and all that shit go out the window. At the end of the day, you become a human, my nigga. What you stand for. If you gonna let a nigga disrespect your flesh and your blood, then that's you. Because I ain't on that. Anything I believe in, if I ever told you I love you, that mean I die for you. If I ever told you I love you, that mean I ride for you, I go to prison for you, I take time for you. But the moment you cross me, my nigga, the moment you step on my toes, nigga, you done ruffle the wrong motherfucking feather. See, you gotta understand, right? See, a lion, you understand me? A lion don't roar at a dog. Cause a dog could bark all day, a lion know he could eat him up.
Anti-Afro Svengalis, leave it to Nino Brown to impart some wisdom and straight talk. I wanted to make sure I came on here to reassure everyone. All of you out there who support me, you know how much I appreciate everything that you do to keep the channel where it needs to be, to keep our mission instead. People don't understand because we are not doing what other people expect us to do, that we're off target, we're not focusing on Umar. We know the deal. Just because we're not coming on here every day giving updates doesn't mean we're not focusing on Umar. We understand that. But there are some times when you just got to take care of business. And this is one of those times. Now, what I have to make sure everybody recognizes is yelling and screaming and hollering and crying. Those kinds of things happen for various reasons. Say you get in a car accident. I definitely can see how people can be screaming, hollering, yelling, and crying. You experience broken ankle, you break your arm, you break your leg. Depending on your pain tolerance, you can be screaming, crying, yelling, and hollering. Then we have theatrics. Then we have control. Then we have intimidation. And I put behind those words attempts with a capital A. So I want to make sure you understand, it doesn't make any difference to me how long, how hard, how intense, how frequent an enemy cries and screams and hollers and throws temper tantrums. That is what they are doing. It doesn't have any impact on me. It doesn't sway my plans. It doesn't dictate my next move. I continue to move just how I plan to move. Do what you do. But there are a couple things I want to make sure I clarify. And I absolutely am ecstatic that I have received a couple of privacy complaints. I applaud that. That's what you need to do if you feel your privacy is violated. What you don't do is think you can threaten me and I'm not going to respond. What you don't do is think you can lie on me and think I'm not going to respond. What you don't do is think you can slander me and I'm not going to respond. Now you can add that to anybody that I love and care about and support, and anyone who has treated me with decency and respect. Doesn't matter whether or not they're an anti-fraud warrior. If anyone is going to ask for my assistance, or if I, on my own volition, decide to say, hey, you know what? This is messed up. This is what you did to this person who's a decent person. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say that. And who is going to stop me? No one's going to stop me. How can anybody stop me from saying what I want to say? It's ridiculous. So whoever wants to kick and scream and cry and holler, and let them do that. It has no bearing on what I'm going to say and do. There is something, however, I have to make sure is clear. You can pick any person who knows me, who has known me. You will never convince any person who knows me that I started trouble, that I picked on somebody who was completely and totally minding his or her business, and I came along and I messed with them. Nobody that knows me will ever believe you. That is not me. That is not my style. But what they will tell you is often I do not know when to stop. And when I say don't know when to stop, if I feel justice has not been served, I will continue. And when I say that, I don't mean I'm going to go up in anyone's face. I'm not going to go up in anyone's face and jump up in anyone's face. That's not my style. I'm going to pursue justice until I feel there has been a relative equilibrium established. And that's not always possible. But when I see something is so egregious, I do not stop. And that sometimes takes an intervention by a third party. And I'm always receptive to that. Always. And that is the difference between someone who has sense and someone who does not. I can even qualify that by saying someone who acts like they have sense and someone who does not. However, you want to look at it, because often there is no difference in terms of the outcome. So, in this circumstance, you have, let me see your handcuffs. Yes, let me see your handcuffs. I will mention your name as often as I damn well please. You are a recalcitrant liar. You're incorrigible. Lying ass. Bottom line. Oh, you did 10 videos on me. Oh, she's not stopping. Oh. You know good and damn well every single video I did on your whining, crying ass was a response. But guess what? I gotta change the topic. Because guess what we have to talk about now? Copyright strikes. Yeah, I heard that story. That's what she says. Copyright strike. Her ass. And guess what? She done brought in Remix, and she done brought in PhotonDNA. I had the name incorrect before, right? PhotonDNA. Let me see your handcuffs. For many reasons, displayed some hideous conduct. Number one, she's trying to classify Remix and PhotonDNA in the same category as Make a Con. Oh, Lord have mercy. And then she's insulting the entire YouTube community by making people think, in her mind, because I fail to believe anybody is stupid enough to actually fall for this. But this is what she's trying to do. Either you go along with what I'm saying, believe my lies, and strike anti-Afro Svengali's channel, or I get to label you as an anti-Afro Svengali's flunky. Too stupid to realize anybody dumb enough to go along with that would be considered her flunky. It doesn't occur to her that people just might have their own will to think and act on their own. She's insulting everybody's intelligence, insinuating that Remix is under my thumb because he won't jump around and acquiesce to her temper tantrums? Who fell into that trap and had to get their ass remixed? Yeah, Carrie Ann. And let me see your handcuffs didn't give a shit about her acting the fool all over these YouTube streets, claiming to have what, mental health issues? Well, when was the last meltdown she had after she got her ass remixed? She didn't have any more after that. I mean, she tried to kind of start a couple of fires here and there, but realized, you know what? No, this is not going to work. My remixing is still in effect. I better shut the hell up. And let me see your handcuffs. Seems to be headed down the same road. What an insult. The nerve of this. She insults PhotonDNA on his own channel. Wouldn't even let him talk. And she turns around and expects him to issue copyright strikes on her behalf after she disrespected the dude on his own channel.
But that was
what she was saying. I'm talking, cutting me. Yo, that's not fair. I can't talk to you. You want to cut and argue.
I'm gonna be quiet. You explain it to me.
No, it's not fair. You could talk, but if we can't have a conversation, if you're going to cut me when I'm trying to make a solid point, is it because my point is too solid and you really want to just bicker?
But like I said,
wait, hold on.
Hold on. I'm not done with what I said, though. I'm not done with what I said. I'm not done.
You said you were sleepy and now you're dropping some science. Which one is it?
So Cash Apps means
wait, relax.
Or have different tastes. And actually, like the
I wasn't
live
finished,
that he was doing and the topic.
See, this is not fair. I'm not trying to argue with you. I think you just want to argue. You
no,
really
I'm trying to come to.
Let me see your handcuffs. Your ass needs to be remixed. You think I'm in line to be remixed? Do you hear me up here insinuating that remix is my flunky? You are the one who needs to be remixed. Let me see your handcuffs. Professes to have all these supporters, but she allows them just to self-implode, go off the deep end in terms of their mouth, and doesn't bring them any sort of support. You have Carrie Ann out here trying her hardest to get my attention with these silly videos. The only thing I am focused on with you, Carrie Ann, is getting justice for Gerald and his family due to your slander. When you called him a child molester and let me see your handcuffs live stream. Your silly videos are actually quite humorous. There will be nothing that you will ever be able to say to me that's going to trigger me. I consider you for what you are, a attention-famished potty mouth. You will, however, pay professionally and legally for the damage you did to my friend. I'm way down the line, but every video that you record is being captured. I'm not the priority. Getting justice for Gerald and his family is the priority. In the meantime, the good news is you remain remixed. Now back to you. Let me see your handcuffs. I'm actually glad to know if you actually did call the police. I am ecstatic at you filing a false police report. And I understand you have a history of doing that. Let me make this unmistakably clear. Whenever anyone believes a crime has been committed, you know my position on that. By all means, notify the police. But I am telling you, this is an entirely different situation. And when I say different, I do mean different. And people, let me tell you something. I don't come on here and say anything unless I have proof. You want to try me on that? You keep talking. Let me see your handcuffs. You make me come out with shit on your ass, I will drag you like you have never been dragged. And I won't even need to say a single swear word. You do not know who you are messing with. You are messing with someone whose life you tried to threaten. You supported someone who threatened me. That moves you in another category. Well, you will never move out of. Who the hell do you think you are? You're supposed to be a public servant. Attaching onto people who threaten the lives of others. You better know anything about me. I don't tolerate threats. I don't threaten anyone's life, and I will be damned if you are going to threaten mine. And that's what you did when you supported Sherry Whittaker Campbell. There is no way in hell you're going to shut me up. I'll get up here and talk about your ass. And anybody in your louse-filled live stream that doesn't have the guts to tell you that you are pure demon. You are a demon, and I can prove that. Straight up can prove it. Let me give you an example of why I call you a demon, or maybe I should say Demon-Ette. How you talk about children, that's evil. Pure evil. Anybody who talks about children the way you do is evil.
She didn't care about them motherfucking kids. Just like Lil Nas X said, he don't care about them motherfucking kids. Anti-African don't care about them goddamn kids either.
I got proof you're pure demon. You want to try me on that? This is a promise. Let me see your handcuffs. This is a promise. You are despicable. You are disgusting. I already proved when I say I have documentation and facts. I proved that point with Bernice. You can't threaten me with anybody when it comes to anybody thinking they can put my life at risk, or I got to get up here and call the police on someone. You are a female and you think you can step to me. You have lost what little sense you may have had at one time. You're too busy listening to people like Make a Con. If you want to know what's to come, why don't you check in with Make a Con and ask him about his experiences when he thought he could step to Taz? When he thought he can step to the smoke as well. There have been others. As foolish as Make a Con has appeared, he will always fail in trying to get me to be slave obedient to him. Let me tell you something. You are Make a Con's slave. I'm not. Also understand, I am not your slave, which means I'm going to respond to any comment you make, any comment talking about me or addressing me in that louse-filled, demon-infused live stream that you hold court over. And guess what? There isn't a damn thing you can do about that. People, remember what I stated. I don't make a statement that I cannot back up. Need any clarity on that? Let me know. In the meantime, heed the warning. Buyer, beware.